ahead and get started. We're gonna grab one dumbbell if you have them, and we're gonna go into a roll down. So come all the way down seated on your mat. And the reason we do things seated is to really ensure that we're finding lots of length on the back line of the body, but we wanna hold the best neutral pelvis that we can. So if that means you need to soften your knees a little bit to sit up on the apex of your sitting bones, go for that. Go for a little baby knee bend, and we're gonna grab one dumbbell, we're gonna hold it horizontally like this. Bring the arms in front of you with a good bend to both elbows, sitting as tall as you can. We're gonna melt the shoulder blades down the spine to float the dumbbell overhead. Think about the ribs funneling down into the pelvis. Exhale, arms come forward. We're going to inhale as we lean 2 to 3 inches with a flat back. Exhale as you glide the tailbone under you, rolling all the way down to the floor on a long exhale. On the inhale, the arms go overhead again. Melt the shoulder blades down to achieve that. The head floats up, and we're gonna exhale as we continue rolling up one vertebra at a time. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, dumbbell comes forward as we roll all the way down, lengthening through the spine. Inhale, arms float overhead. Lengthen the head, lift the shoulder blades up. Exhale as we peel the vertebra up off the mat, one at a time. Inhaling at the top, the dumbbell goes overhead. We lean with a flat back. Exhale, melt the tailbone under, slowly lengthening and lowering down. Inhale, arms come overhead, melt the shoulder blades down, pick the head up off the floor. We're going to hold with just our shoulder blades peeled up and off the floor, holding here. We're going to lift and lengthen just an inch or two and bring it back down. Lift and lengthen. So we're working through the upper abdominal focus. Lift and lengthen. The tailbone stays heavy on the floor. The low back stays lifted off the floor. And I want you to think about that. Lengthen, reach. Inhale as you lengthen. Exhale, bring it down. We're never setting our shoulder blades down. We're keeping those lifted. We're going to go for one more, rolling all the way up. Here we go, guys. Exhale as we roll all the way up to the top. Dumbbell reaches up and overhead again. We're lengthening back with a flat back, 2 to 3 inches. Dumbbell is in front of the chest. We're going to exhale, melt the tailbone under you, maybe about halfway down. We're holding in a shallow curl, and now the emphasis is going to be on the down. So we're going to inhale down, exhale, bring it up. So when we just did it the other way from the floor up, the emphasis was on the up. I want the emphasis on the down here, lengthening and reaching. Last 4, find that length and lift. Last 3, try not to think about only down, think about reaching long. This is our last one. We're gonna come all the way up, and rise onto those sitting bones. Okay guys, keep that one dumbbell with you, and we're gonna go onto our right hip and our right forearm on the mat. Knees are gonna be bent a lot, okay? So the bottom leg is bent to about a 45-degree angle, and the top leg is reaching long. Make sure that you're not hunkering down in that shoulder. We wanna lift and find lightness and lift the bottom ribs away from the floor. Here we go. First thing that we're going to do is take the hips off the floor, and we're gonna have the left leg long. Reach the left arm overhead as the left leg floats, and we're gonna do a little side arc here. Then we're gonna exhale as the knee and elbow bend in. They don't need to touch. And then we're gonna inhale, left leg, left arm, reach long, lift the bottom ribs. Exhale as that inner thigh swivels forward, upper inner arm swivels forward, and they come towards one another. Inhale as you lengthen and reach. Exhale as you bring it back in. Inhale, find that breath and that lightness. Try to come off of that right shoulder and elbow. Exhale as we bring it in. Inhale, find the reach, keeping the pelvis stacked in that inhale, and keeping it stacked as we exhale and swivel the limbs. The pelvis and the ribs are not swiveling. Let's go for 2 more here. Exhale on the way in. Inhale as we lengthen out, arcing the bottom ribs. Exhale as we bring it in. Inhale as we lengthen out. And then we're gonna bring it all the way down to the floor. Hold here. If it's accessible to you, we're gonna float that dumbbell straight up to the sky. We're gonna stack both legs and lift off of that right shoulder again. So now knees are stacked, hip is down on the floor. On the inhale, we're gonna lift the pelvis pelvis all the way up. Check that your hips are stacked. And then we're gonna exhale with length, tap it down. Inhale, think about yourself like a hammock, reaching in both directions. Exhale as you bring it down. Inhale as you lengthen. Exhale as you bring it down. If the dumbbell is aggressive, you can set it on the floor or you can rest it on your hip. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, bring it down. The whole idea, guys, keep working on your end, is to find the tailbone reaching long from the crown of the head, especially when you set it down. That's when we want to kind of crowd and collapse. So as you set it down, find that reach and that length, and that's where you're going to get the core effort really firing on. Let's go for 2 more. We're inhaling as we lift. We're exhaling, but think about tractioning the pelvis away from the ribs. Inhale for the last time. Exhale as you bring it down. All right, let's go ahead and go into a little bird dog pose. We're going to be doing a long X. So come onto your knees. Again, we're only going to need 1 dumbbell, and you're going to come into a 4-point kneeling position, like so. Hands are like starfish. Left hand takes the dumbbell into it. We're straight away going to reach the top of the right foot, long, 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 until the leg is fully extended. Kneecap absorbs into quadriceps. And then we're going to float the leg outbound. Check in with your body here. Make sure that you didn't drop your right hip, glance back. Make sure that you didn't dump your belly forward. Make sure you have length in the spine. And bring your inner thigh 1/2 inch closer to the middle of the body to find that inner thigh core connection. All right, guys. Now we are going to offer the left arm up and out like so. And then we're going to open to the side. So the right leg reaches to the right, the left arm reaches to the left, and bring it back to start. Keep working. I'm going to show you from a different angle so you can get the understanding of the move. Keep working. So on the inhale, we're sending the arm and the leg out in opposite directions, but it's narrow. And then on the exhale, we bring it back in. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, bring it in. Keep working. I want your intention to be moving from the dome of the shoulder socket. So that's a shallow dome, but we're tipping the humerus bone in to send the hand out and bring it back in. And we're tipping the femur head of the thigh bone in to send the leg out. So it's not about the hand and the foot kind of squirreling about. It's about working really close to the core from the hip and the shoulder to move the arm and the leg outbound. Let's go for 1 more here, and then we're going to change it up. Once you're back to center, we're going to bring it all the way in. Stay here. Exhale as we flex. Draw the elbow and knee in. And then we're going to inhale as we extend into parallel 4 times only. Exhale, draw it in. Round the upper back. Inhale as you lengthen with breath and reach. Exhale as you round and bring it in. Inhale as you lengthen it out. This is our last time. Exhale as you bring it in. And inhale, lengthen all the way out. With control, the arm and the dumbbell at the same time, lower down to the floor, toe and hand touch, and we bring it back in. All right, let's go ahead and grab 2 dumbbells. We're gonna be on our knees here again. You can double over your mat if that is sensitive to your body. All right, we're gonna go into a little side flexion on our knees. So we're 4 inches apart, parallel. And I'm gonna ask you to take the right dumbbell up alongside your ear. Now we don't wanna crowd the ear with our shoulder, so melt the shoulder blade down the spine. From here, guys, we are going to inhale. The left hand glides down the thigh as the right ribs fan open, right hand reaches overhead, and then we're gonna exhale, bring it back to center. Inhale as you arc up and overhead. Exhale back to center. It's not a great big range of movement. We're fanning open the right ribs. It's like we're coming up and over the edge of a little cliff on the left side, and exhale, bring it back. I'd like you to focus on length in both arms, even as they stay plugged into your middle back. I want you to think about length on the left waistline. We don't want to crowd the left hip because we're arcing that direction. Let's go for 2 more here. Inhale to bring it up. We're going to go into a rotation next. Exhale as we bring it over and back to center. Okay, you can keep 2 dumbbells. I'm going to choose 1. So you do what works for you. We're going to go into a squat kind of modified with a golf swing. So we're going to go into a rotation while we're sculpting through the arms. So you can keep 2. I'm using 1. Here we go. On the exhale, we're going to sit our hips as close to our heels as we can manage. You don't have to get all the way down. And I've rotated my torso and my arms to the left, my ribs and my arms have rotated to the left. And then on my inhale, I'm gonna bring the arms up and over to the right, rotating the torso to the right. Exhale as you lower down, rotate through the rib basket. Inhale as you lift and lengthen, bringing it over to the other side. Keep working on your end, guys. I wanna make sure that as you're raising the hands up, we're not going so far that we spill the abdominals forward and put pressure on the low back. Think about the psoas drawing up, and that's why the tailbone melts down, even when we're in rotation. So it's an exhale on the way down. You don't have to touch all the way down if that's not for your body today. Inhale as you bring it up. Shoulder blades melt down the spine in order to send the hands up. Bend the elbows if you need to accomplish that without the shoulders climbing around your ears. Last two, exhaling as we rotate down, inhaling as we bring it up. This is gonna be our last one. Exhale as you rotate, inhale as you bring it up, and go ahead and unwind, come back to center. All right, if you've got two dumbbells, we're gonna grab them, and we're gonna go into a single leg chest expansion. So I'm gonna bring my right knee forward, left foot is flat on the floor, pelvis is level. I like my dumbbells long, you can hold them however you like. We're gonna inhale as we extend the arms back, exhale as we bring it forward. I think about it in 3 fluid steps. I reach the arms long, broaden the collarbones, and move from underneath the shoulder blades. It's called your serratus anterior. That's what we're activating every time. Long, wide, and reaching back, shoulder blades melting down. Starting at the seam of our pants, long, broaden the collarbones, and send it back. What's happening with your right foot? It should have intention in it. So really find intention under the sole of the right foot to find the backside inner thigh of that right leg. Long arms, lengthening back. 2 more here, just like that, reaching long and low, lengthening back. Last one, we're gonna hold the arms back, hold the arms back. You might have seen this coming, little carousel horse. We're gonna flip those left toes under, and here we go. We're gonna raise and lower 4 times. I'm tapping the knee and then lifting via the upper inner thighs. This is our last 2. We're there already. Find equal weight across the sole of the left foot. Last one, rise all the way up to standing, however you need to get there. Keep the dumbbells. We're gonna go into a little scissor here. So start with your feet 4 inches apart, parallel. And we're gonna take a natural step back with the left foot. The right foot stays forward. Straight away, guys, bring your dumbbells onto your hips. We're going to use the right inner thigh coming up alongside the spine to float onto the ball of the right foot. We're now on the balls of both feet. I'd like you to bend your knees without changing your height. You should feel deep inner thigh and low belly activation, and then extend the legs. Your height should not have changed. Glue your eyes to something ahead of you for stability. If it's not great for your ankles, you can always keep your front foot flat. Keep working. We're doing a little bend and a little extend. If you want additional cardio challenge and sculpting through the arms and shoulders, arms can come up and overhead. So it's a very small bend and extend. We're also getting some fascial flossing in there. You might feel some shakes going on. You might feel a little tingle going on. You might feel the bones shaking in there. That's good. Draw the navel up and in. Find all 10 toes melting into the floor. Think about the upper inner thighs really magnetizing. Find that connection. That's going to help you find the core connection to the body. Plug the arms down into the ribs. Last 2. Keeping both heels raised, we're going to go into a full range of movement lunge. Exhale as we lower down. Both knees bend a lot. Inhale as we lengthen to rise. Exhale, upper inner thighs are scissoring apart. Magnetize those outer thighs. Inhale as you lift the ribs off of the pelvis. Last 2 here, guys. Exhale as we lower down. Inhale as we lengthen and bring it up. Exhale as we lower down. Last one, we're inhaling, rising all the way to the top, going into our standing saw. I want to give a little side note. I'm going to set my dumbbells down because I want to make sure that I'm not putting any inadvertent pressure on my low back. It's entirely up to you if you keep yours or set them aside. So a standing saw is a wide, parallel position to start with. If you know you have a sensitive low back, I'm going to recommend you give your knees some bend rather than holding straight legs. So pay attention to your body the whole time through this sequence, okay? We're going to bring the arms outbound to the side, so we're kind of like a starfish to start with. All 10 toes are shining straight forward. We're going to use a really deep focus of our core. We're using our back extensors to fold forward as much as you can with a flat back. What we're going to do from here is we're going to rotate the ribs towards the right, or towards the left, excuse me, on an inhale. My right hand is down. And then we're going to exhale and unwind. Pay attention to your body, dumbbells or no, either way you're going to get great core focus. Inhale as we rotate. Exhale as we bring it forward. Again, a knee bend is always an option here if that's going to help to support your back by firing up the glute line and the back line of the legs. So you can always choose a knee bend or long legs. Inhale as you rotate. Exhale, bring it back to center. Inhale as you rotate. Exhale as you bring it back to center. Inhale, we're going to rotate to the left. Exhale, back through center, holding here. And we're going to really pay attention to the abdominals lifting us as we lengthen the spine. Find the psoas drawing up, 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 and draw the tailbone down, down, down as we rise all the way back to standing. Okay, grab those dumbbells again if you want them. I'm going to skip them for my squats, but you can use them if you choose. We're going to go 4 inches apart, parallel to start with. We're going to exhale, crease at the hips as we lower down. Exhaling down and inhaling up. Find that length every time. If you have your dumbbells, I would suggest that you bring them in front of you for a front raise, plugging the arms down the middle back. Inhale as you bring it up. You can do this with empty hands. You could do this with a resistance band. Exhale as you lower down. Inhale as you lengthen and bring it up. Think about those sitting bones broadening. Keep working. Think about the sitting bones broadening on the way down and narrowing on the way up. Find that core connection. I know your glutes are working. Check, we got that. We don't have to access that or think about it. We really want to think about the bones moving in the body to facilitate the core connection with our breath. So the inhale lifts us and the exhale is decelerating us on the way down. Hold this next one down. Arms are plugged into the middle back. If you have your dumbbells or your resistance band or empty hands, we're going to open into a wide V. Plug the arms into the shoulder blades, funnel the shoulder blades and ribs down into the pelvis. We're going to pick up the right heel via the right inner thigh. Hold. Find your shaky spot, guys. You know what that is. We're going to then pick up that left heel. We're going to find that shaky spot. Now we're going to do our squats with an elevated heel. Here we go. We're going to inhale as we rise. Come all the way to standing. Try not to dig your toes into the floor. Exhale as we reach back. Lengthen the spine. Draw the navel up and in the whole time. Inhale as you lengthen and lift. Exhale as you lower. I'd like you to think about your navel drawing up and in between the shoulder blades. That's the destination it's reaching for. It's not just kind of randomly reaching up and in. It's going all the way up and in at a diagonal up between the shoulder blades. Inhaling as we lengthen. Exhaling as we lower down. This is going to be our last one like this. Inhale as we lengthen up. We're going to do a squat in first position. Exhale as we lower down. Hold. We're going to melt the heels through the floor. We're going to swivel the heels together because the inner thighs spiraled forward. So now we're doing a squat in first position, heels glued together. Exhale as you lower. Inhale as you rise up. Notice that that really helps to activate through the glute med up to the belt line. Exhale as you lower down. So if you feel that you're having tight hips through this whole quarantine experience from all the sitting around and being at home, the strengthening of your hips is actually going to help them function better and feel less tight. So it's not always about stretching, it's about functionality, conditioning, and strength as well. Inhale as we lift, find your heels, try not to dump in the toes only. Exhale as we lower. We want the full sole of the foot melting into the mat. Inhale as the inner thighs draw up alongside the spine all the way up the crown of the head. This is our last one. We're gonna hold that squat. Heels are glued together. Peel the heels up without pitching forward or getting taller. Put your heels back down now that you know what to expect. Let's do it again. Don't get taller, don't pitch forward. Find the center of your weight balanced on the balls of both feet. All 10 toes are melting to the floor, not gripping. Psoas draw up, tailbone reaches long, arms come up and overhead. Get a little bit lower into that squat. Lengthening the tailbone away from the crown of the head for 5, for 4, this is 3, last 2, with intention, heels melt down, inhale, rise up, and let's take care of those scissors on the other side. So grab the dumbbells or your resistance band, feet are 4 inches apart, parallel. This time we're gonna leave the left foot where it is and take a natural step back with your right foot. The left inner thigh comes up alongside the spine to hover onto the balls of both feet. We're going to straight away bend both knees with a baby bend, don't change your height. And then we're gonna extend both legs. And we're gonna give a small bend. So we're doing some fascial flossing. We're really lubricating that network of fibers that hold everything together. And the more you move, keep working on your end, the more you move, you're lubricating and hydrating the fascia so that you feel less tight and your body overall functions better. So this is a really important thing, not only to move and do WundaBar all the time, but do specific fascial flossing like we're doing right now. Okay guys, here we go. You can always bring the arms up and overhead if that is for you today. All the way to the top, gang, here we go. Full range of movement, exhale. As we scissor those upper inner thighs, find a level belt line. Make sure your left hip isn't raised. Inhale. Narrow the upper inner thighs to lift you. Exhale. Think about that left hip stretching the femur bone, stretching away from the left knee. Inhale as you lengthen, crown of the head lifting you, not the feet pushing you. Exhale. Try to stretch your left thigh bone. The knee reaches long away from the hip. Inhale as you bring it up. We have one more, and we're going to go into that carousel horse on the other side. Exhale as you lower down. Inhale as you bring it up. All right, both feet go onto the floor. I'm just going to keep my left leg forward and bring my right knee down. So however you choose to get into this position is up to you. Keep the right toes flipped under. We're going to do the carousel horse first. This time, guys, I'm going to flip my palms in. So I had my palms back last time. I'm going to flip my palms in to change the angle we're working the muscles. Here we go. The arms are long and low behind the hips. And we're gonna raise them over 4 times. So we're gonna inhale, come up a few inches. Exhale as we lower down, lifting from the upper inner thighs. Equal weight across the sole of the left foot. Exhale down. Inhale as we bring it up. Exhale as we lower down. Last time. Inhale up. And exhale down. Okay, flip the top side of your right foot under. Palms face in. Reaching long and low. Collarbones wide. And lengthen back. Bring it back in line with the hips, long and low, wide collarbones, and drawing the arms back. Keep working. We want to make sure anytime we're doing the chest expansion exercise that we keep broadness across the middle back. So we don't want to wing the shoulder blades together to get the arms back really far. We want to think more about control and organization, long and low, broaden the collarbones, and then the shoulder blades melt down and around the ribs to send the arms back just a few inches. And bring it back. 2 more like that, guys. Long and low. Collarbones wide. Lengthen back. This is our last one. We've got that golf swing coming. Long and low. Collarbones wide. And bring both knees to the floor. All right. I'm going to use 1 dumbbell here. You can choose 2 if that is your option today. Again, we're going to come to the right. So now I'm seated on my heels. Get as low as you can. It doesn't have to be all the way down. Arms are long. And then my ribs are rotated to the right. Inhale as we come up and out, rotating the ribs to the left. Exhale as we rotate down. We're bowing forward. Inhale as we come upright and bring the dumbbell up towards the upper left corner. Exhaling down. Inhaling to lift and rotate. So we're rotating the rib basket in both directions. We are moving the shoulder blades in both directions, and we want to keep the hips as quiet as possible. So we want the pelvis not to be rotating just because the ribs and the arms and shoulders are. Let's go for 3 more here. We're thinking about the ribs lifting off of the pelvis to raise you, rather than thinking about a push from the ground up. We're thinking about a lift from the top. This is our last 2, and we've got that side bend coming next. Exhale as you rotate. Inhale, bring it up, and bring it all the way back to center. Okay, two dumbbells if you have them. We're gonna come onto our knees. This time, the left arm goes overhead and the right arm stays by our side. So this is our starting position. Knees are 4 inches apart, parallel. We are going to arc on an inhale, right hand slides down, left ribs fan open. Exhale, base of the ribs returns you to start. Inhale as we arc. Exhale as we bring it back up. Keep working, guys. This should feel like a really sincere core and waistline effort. So if you're just kind of going through the motions, you can just kind of more feel it in that top shoulder. I want you with intention to send all your energy to the left ribs fanning open while we don't let the right ribs jam into the pelvis. And then think about both bottom ribs working together on an exhale to return you upright. I don't even have my dumbbells, and I felt that a lot through the waistline. So we're fanning while maintaining length, and the base of the ribs are stacking you upright, just like scaffolding. Let's go for the inhale. And that exhale, we've got one more, and then we're doing that side lying. We're gonna go into our bird dog position. Last one, come in and set one dumbbell down. We're gonna do the bird dog, and then we'll do the side lying to finish up. All right, so set your one dumbbell to the side. The dumbbell is now in your right hand. We're gonna come into our 4-point kneeling position. From here, guys, the first thing that happens is the left leg reaches long, 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 long. Draw your navel up and in between the shoulder blades, and think about the psoas, your waistline talking to your hamstrings to float the leg into extension up and off the floor. I like to give it a glance to make sure that my left hip didn't drop when the leg went up. Now, if it's accessible to you, you can take the right arm outbound, like so, and then we're gonna go into that narrow X shape. So we're opening up to the side on an inhale, exhale as you bring it through center. Keep working, guys. So the idea, again, is to really find this shallow cup or dome of the shoulder to send the arm out. I like to think about my arm like a pencil. You better still be working on your end. That my fingertips are the tip of the pencil and my shoulder is the eraser. And I'm trying to move the tip of the pencil by holding the eraser. So if you can think about that's what is intentioning the movement, that's how you're gonna plug the arm in down to the middle back and get the support from the entire core rather than just relying on the top of the shoulder. Same thing with the hip. We've got the eraser here and the toes are the pencil, and we want to move the leg in and out via the eraser. Okay, bring everything back to center. I'm done with my little dissertation, and we're gonna exhale as we round and bring it in. This is an exhale. Inhale as you extend, reach for length 4 times only. Exhale as you bring it in. Check in with that left inner thigh. Do you need to bring that inner thigh a little closer to the seam of your pants to find the core connection? You should feel the right waistline holding that left leg out in space. This is our last one. Exhale as we bring it in. Inhale as we extend. With control, guys, do it with me. The right hand and the left toes are gonna touch the floor at the same time. In theory, almost, we almost got it. All right, gang, keep that one dumbbell. We're gonna be on our left forearm. Left knee is bent a lot below us, and the right leg is long. Okay, first thing that happens, we're gonna pick the left hips up off of the floor. Pick the left hips up off of the floor, float the right arm long. So now we've got this long line. We're gonna create an arc on an inhale, and then on the exhale, the upper inner thigh and the upper inner arm are gonna come together, rotating forward, pelvis stays stacked. Inhale as you arc and reach. Exhale as we rotate through the limbs. Inhale as you arc and reach. Exhale as we rotate to bring it in with control. Again, let's think about that eraser. So think about that eraser moving the limbs. You can also think maybe about one of those like toy giraffes you would get where you press the bottom and that's how everything bends. So think about the core as the bottom of your limbs. That is where everything is connected. And because we're activating through the core, close to the center of the body, that's why everything bends. This is our last one. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, bring it out into that arc. We're gonna bring the right hand to the hip, stack the legs. We're gonna go into the hip tap. So we're gonna exhale, lower down. Inhale as you bring it up. Always an option to bring the right arm up towards the sky. Exhale as you lower down. Inhale, bring it up. I want your focus to maintain on that length as you lower the pelvis down. Think about tractioning it away. And then we're gonna inhale as we lift. So think about that left hip reaching away from the left shoulder as we lower down. Inhale as we pick it up. 2 more, guys. And then we stretch, we made it. Exhale as we lower down. Inhale, bring it up. Last one. Exhale as we lower down. Inhale, bring it up. And that will do it on this beautiful Memorial Day. All right, guys, let's go ahead and go into a cat-cow stretch to stretch through the middle back and the arms and the midline of the body. Here we go. So we're gonna have our hands and knees on the floor. We're gonna exhale as we nod the chin and round the spine. And then we're gonna inhale as we unwind, gazing forward. Exhale, nod the chin, round the spine. Really feel those shoulder blades wrap around the rib basket. Inhale as we gaze forward. We're not letting the belly spill down. We're going for length here. Come back to center. We're going to look over our right shoulder and wag the right tailbone towards the shoulder and bring it back in. So the right hip and the tailbone wag to the right as we look and give side flexion, melting the shoulder blade down. Let's do the other side. So the left hip and the tail wag to the left as we look over the left shoulder and bring it back to center. And we arc, look over the shoulder and bring it back to center. We're gonna go into a child's pose, but the hands are gonna be shifted to the right. So we're gonna bring our big toes together, knees come wide, and stretch through the side body, stretch through that shoulder. Our hands are to the right. Inhale here, exhaling. Inhaling for length. We're gonna walk our hands straight to the other side. Walk your hands to the left, stretching through the right shoulder, and the right side body, stretching through the hips. And go ahead and walk your hands to the center. Take one beautiful deep inhale here, lengthening the spine. And as you exhale, drag the hands and the arms in, rounding the spine into deep flexion to come all the way up to upright. We made it. Beautiful job, you guys. Thanks for being here.